Okay, hello. It's Kendra back again with another video about packing light. This is going to be a review on my packing for 3 days in my 3-liter Uniqlo bag video. If you haven't seen that yet, you might want to go watch that first. So this trip was a 3-day beach trip, and I had a lot of things already at the place we were staying, shampoo, conditioner, stuff like that. So that really helped me with packing light. But overall, I really loved packing in this bag. I found this bag really easy to use. It's quite lightweight. It's easy to stuff things in. It's not like a structured bag, so it's easy to kind of form it how you need it. So let's start with the things that I liked. The first thing would have been the clip on the outside of the bag for my water bottle. Now, I had a bigger clip that I actually lost, but I bought this at REI and it locks and unlocks, so that way I won't lose the clip. And it's quite a bit smaller, and that way it's just not in the way as much. I put the rest of the things that I was really happy about in this bag, so let's take a look. One of the first things was my sunscreen. This, I felt like it was a bit more full when I went, but it really was the perfect amount of sunscreen for a really short trip like that. I was also really happy that I brought my nausea pills and my nausea bracelets. We drove around quite a bit to different beaches, different towns, and I get super car sick, so I really needed these. One of the other things that I really loved was this contact case. This is what I kept my toiletries in for the most part. I had some soap in here, and I had body wash at the house we stayed at, but this is my face soap. I prefer not to use just like random soap for my face. And then some Vaseline on the other side, just in case I needed moisture anywhere. And this was phenomenal. I mean, I don't really use very much Vaseline when I do use it. So I had filled this up, and then I actually brought this on a 2-week trip afterwards, which I'll be doing a review of that trip as my next video. And there's still plenty left. So now I actually carry this little set around with me. So I really recommend this for trips. A couple other things that I really loved. I had a thin cotton dress that was one of the only pieces of clothing that I put in my bag. And that was really perfect just to have another outfit to wear. And it was really easy to pack in the bag. And then the other thing that I really loved was my Birkenstocks. I think they were just the perfect shoe to wear like with a cute outfit, but also on the beach. Okay, change in lighting because the light coming through the window is shifting. So those are the things that I really loved. And I used almost everything that I brought. There was only one thing I didn't use, which was my headband. I'm glad I brought it for a beach trip just because when you like go swim in the water and then you just want to kind of throw your hair back and still have it look cute, I think these are really good for that. Someone also suggested instead of bringing a eye mask and a headband, you could use a buff like this. I use this one particularly when I'm running in the winter, like I kind of put it over my nose or use it as like an ear cover. For me, for this trip, my purpose for the headband was like style. And this definitely like gives a different style if you use it as a headband. It's much like thicker, but I totally could see myself using that for an outdoor trip. So that's a great tip. Definitely smaller than both the headband and the eye mask. And going off of that, I wanted to talk about a couple swaps that I would have made. I wasn't 100% happy with the clothing. I didn't feel like I needed more clothing, but I did feel like I could have used different clothing. So one of the things I brought was this pair of little spandex shorts. And I picked these because I thought maybe I would go for a run. I did not go for a run, and I think I could have known I wasn't going to go on a run. And I think I could have just given myself those 3 days off of running. And if I wasn't planning on running, I would have brought like a looser pair of shorts to wear like lounging around the house and while sleeping. And the other thing is my linen shorts. I wish I had brought a pair of light linen trousers like these instead. These are from Uniqlo. And I would have replaced these because on the flights, I was so cold and uncomfortable. And a couple of you commented this and were like, I would never wear shorts on a plane. And I feel the same way, but I was like, it'll be fine. It's just a really short flight. Like, I'll be okay. And I was fine, but I definitely would have preferred having these. And they're not so heavy where it would have been that much warmer than shorts for like a hotter day. So I definitely would have gone for linen pants rather than linen shorts. The last thing I would have replaced is my deodorant. So I brought this travel deodorant. I had never used it before. And while I was on the trip, it worked really well. I didn't have any bad smell at all. The only thing is I cannot stand these like white deodorant. It's been a really long time since I've used white deodorant, so I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna try it for this trip. On the trip, I wasn't so bothered, but after the trip, I thought, let me see how long this lasts so I can give you guys a good review. And by the end of the week, I had to stop because I couldn't stand it. I had another trip coming up and I thought, let me try a couple other things. So I really like when it's like a clear or invisible deodorant. So I first bought this deodorant, which it's labeled invisible cream. I will say it comes out, let me show you. It comes out kind of white, but then it does rub in clear. And I put this in a little tiny human gear stacks container. This is the smallest size, even though it usually has a green lid. That lasted me ages. I brought it on my trip that was 2 weeks long. I had plenty left, so I was using it for like a month, I think, after, just to finish it out of the container so I could wash it and use it for something different. But after a while, the whole rubbing it on, I was just like so sick of that because then you have to wash your hands after. And honestly, like, I think it's great for a trip, but if it was a longer trip, I'm not really sure that I would want to do this the whole time. That was kind of my compromise until I stumbled upon this in Target. This is aluminum free, which I really like tried to go all the way on natural deodorants and then just felt like I couldn't find one that really worked for me. But I do always go for aluminum free. That's what works for me. Do whatever works for you. But if you are looking for an aluminum free deodorant and you want it to be clear, I'm not sure if this looks totally clear here, but it does go on clear. This one is great for travel. And it's the exact same size as the other deodorant I use, but it's not white. So this is my new favorite travel deodorant. A couple other great suggestions I saw in the comments. Actually, there was a really great one for deodorant, would be even smaller than this, would be like a chapstick container, which would probably be like a third the size of this, I think. You just have to depot it yourself, which I've never done before. It looks pretty easy. And then another idea that someone had, because if you're like me, like you get to the location and then this is your purse, and that could be kind of annoying because you might not have anywhere to put all your stuff. It's gonna end up everywhere in your room. So a suggestion someone gave was to use a really tiny packing cube, or also I thought maybe you could just do like a really thin bag, throw it in here, and then you have something to put your stuff in when you get there, and you don't have your stuff just floating everywhere in the room getting lost. But I thought that was a great suggestion as well, and definitely something I might try out. A couple of things that I actually added on, I know it's crazy that I could have brought more stuff, but I added on a few last minute things. My boyfriend flew out before me and he forgot a medication that he needed. So I brought that for him. Luckily it was in a flat pack kind of like this, so I was able just to slide it in. And then I last minute decided that I wanted a book. It wasn't this one, but it was similarly sized. A lot of French publishers do these like tiny little books that are easy to slip in your pocket, and that's actually exactly what I did. I put it right in my shorts pocket for the flight, and then I left it at a cafe that I went to once I finished it. So I hope this was helpful. I know it's like not beach season anymore at all unless you're living in the southern hemisphere. So I am really hoping to do another trip with a bag similar size to this. I don't know if it'll be this one or one of my purses, because obviously it's a lot easier to do a summer trip in a smaller bag. So I'm really interested to see what I could do for a fall winter trip. So let me know if you'd be interested in a video about that. I really hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching.